Good morning, Twin Flame friends. Welcome to Happy Twins 1111. My name's Charlotte. So thank you and hello to all of my new subscribers. Absolutely delighted to have you with us. And thank you so much as well to all the lovely people that have sent me emails and healing and just words of love and kindness. I'm so grateful to you and your support. I'm so delighted to be serving this community. It really is such a privilege. And I'm just overwhelmed right now with all the love I've received. So thank you so much. I'm going to do a pick a pile reading today for a twin flame energy update. That looks at the divine feminine and the divine masculine. We'll look at past, present, future energies and the connecting energies between you. Hopefully that will receive any blockages. If you want to skip my chit chat and move straight to your desired pile, the timestamps, information about each deck and the crystals on top is in the description box below. You can also find information there on how to make a private booking with me for either a twin flame connection check, which is still on special offer at $20. That goes up to $40 tomorrow. If you're not sure what that is, that basically allows me to tune in as a medium to see if you're dealing with a real twin or a karmic or a false twin, and to look at the energies between you, any blockages, and to put some sort of basic protection around you. If you feel that you've been compromised by a third party, by black magic, negative energy or dark entities, that's a different service. That's spirit release therapy, and I do offer that. I'm not advertising at the moment, but I do offer it. So if you're having problems with that, you can drop me an email. So before I proceed though, I just want to share with you a channeled message I had last night, which I believe applies to a specific wave within the Twin Flame Collective. Now, when I use the term wave, I am referring to groups of twins that are on a similar path and time scale on the Twin Flame journey. So one thing, I know it's not just me that's noticed this, but other readers and channeled mediums as well, is that twins kind of awake in groups and they come into union in groups. So there's different waves of twins, and I'm hoping that each pile today will resonate with a specific wave. If you are a divine feminine that has moved into surrender and acceptance and feels close to union, then this channeled message is for you. Now, what I was shown is that for a long time, these strong divine feminines that have moved into surrender and acceptance, they have had to take on a lot of masculine energy. You may be a single parent, you're a provider, a protector, you're doing very masculine 3D roles, and you're powerful, you're a very strong woman, certainly as perceived by your divine masculine. So to a divine masculine who has not stepped into his divine masculine power, these traits can be very intimidating and it can actually emasculate them. So we're seeing a lot of these divine feminines that felt very close to union are suddenly noticing their twins running quite unexpectedly and quite hard. The divine masculine has stepped out of the picture. And what I was shown is that this is so that a rebalancing can take place. The energy needs to be recalibrated because these divine feminines need to truly step into their divine feminine power and release some of those masculine energies. And our divine masculines need to release those feminine energies they've been carrying of, feeling needy, not feeling grounded, successful, abundant, not feeling like a real man, but they're looking at that through the 3D paradigm right now. They're seeing a real man needs to be successful, abundant, providing, protecting. Their inability to do that has plunged them into this very feminine energy. So there's this recalibration taking place. Now, to run in itself is a feminine energy. The natural order is that the divine feminine runs and the masculine chases. So if you're seeing your divine masculine run at this point in time, the message is you need to let him go. You need to let him run. You need to stay passive and strong in your divine feminine power. Stop trying to fix him. Stop trying to guide him because this is emasculating him. You need to let him run and find his own masculine power. You cannot give it to him. So a lot of these very powerful, very strong divine feminines, yes, you're standing in your power, but you're holding a lot of masculine energy, which needs to be released. This makes space for your masculine to chase you. You must not be running now. If you're chasing your divine masculine, you're actually stepping into masculine energy. So this recalibration, and it was shown to me quite literally with my twin walking away from me, out of our light, and he took my power animal with him, which is a male lion. And he left his own power animal with me, which is a deer, a doe, a female deer. So that in itself is quite powerful visual, literally trading of energies so that we can rebalance and be in the right energy. So that's what we need to be working on this week. I hope that was helpful. So let's get to pile 1. So divine feminine will be on the left. I know I usually put her on the right, but I don't know why I do that in readings, because when I look at them energetically, the divine feminine is always on the left. So divine feminine's on the left, divine masculine's on the right. We're going to look at past, present, future with the connecting energies down the middle and try and get some insight. These are going to be short 10-minute readings for each one. So we get a significator. I'm going to just move these back a bit. Yeah. So this if you've chosen this pile, this is the wave of twins I was just talking about, with the divine masculine runner. And the divine feminine chaser. This is very powerful. We're going to do that in a minute. We'll keep... Okay. So the significator for the divine feminine is judgment. This is a very powerful awakening. And if you feel like you're already awakened, awakening is an ongoing process. It's not a one-off event. So if you've woken up, you need to remember that you're still waking up. Every day, you're waking up a little bit more. And you're going to feel a surge of power, energy, downloads, realizations in this present. The energy surrounding you now. And you're masculine with this King of Wands energy. And there's lions at the top of this. Is trying to step into his divine masculine power. So each time you awaken again, each time you have this powerful surge of energy, this shift, this download, you are propelling your masculine forward into his own journey. But in the recent past, you've had your barriers up. You've been defensive because he's been slipping into this old paradigm of gameplay. And he's run. This is what we see with the Chariot. He's run. And this has really created an imbalance in the energies between you because it's triggered you. You thought you were awake, you were healed, you can cope with this, you can step into your own unconditional love. And then he's shifted into this old paradigm of game playing behaviour and you've wobbled energetically. And you've realised that you need to do more healing. For him, in this present moment, he needs to run. The connecting energy here is the Six of Swords. We see a man on his own in this boat rowing away. And you need to allow him to do that. If you didn't listen to my message at the beginning of this video, go and listen to it because it applies to this pile, to this wave within the collective. For the divine feminine, now is the time to step into your soul power. With this Six of Cups, energy. We see you feeling very nostalgic. You know, I'm getting a tremendous surge of just beautiful, I call them truth shivers, but they're like goosebumps as I say this. You need to let your barrier back down. There is a difference between creating boundaries and putting up barriers. Barriers block everybody. A boundary is like a line in the ground, okay? It doesn't stop people crossing them. It's not protection, it's just common sense. It's about asserting your worth, your wishes, your desires, and standing true to expecting them. A barrier is a blockage. And what we've seen the Divine Feminine do is create a barrier rather than a boundary. And, you know, the Divine Masculine has come up against the barrier and he doesn't feel strong enough to fight it, so he's run. And right now, you need to let that barrier back down. You need to take a step back. You need to go back into your Divine Feminine energy of being passive, of allowing. And you need to allow him to run. And you're not going to hear from him while he's running in this present moment. He's being a martyr to his own needs, which is where he needs to be. And it may look weak. It may look like he's lacking in strength, control, and heart. But that's where he's feeling. That's where he is in his energy. You need to give him time to unravel that, to step into this King of Wands, Divine Masculine energy. Now, moving forward into the future, now is the time to redesign yourself again. So when we talk about healing being an infinite process, you know, you see this gentleman here, the artist, he's kneeling with a sketchbook in hand. He is naked with winged feet. He is exposed. He's being his true self. And he's looking into the darkness, which is clouded. His view of this castle in the sky is clouded. It's clouded by a veil. And he's designing. He understands that he's creating his future. He is a designer of his future. And this is the energy that the Divine Feminine needs to step into. That she is the creator. That's what feminine energy is, the Empress. She creates. She's about creation. So you need to remember, pardon me, how much power you have as a Divine Feminine to create. You are not supposed to be leading, asserting, creating barriers, guiding, teaching, or fixing your masculine. You are just creating space, your own abundant, beautiful, loving life. And by releasing this burden of having to create all of this for him, you give him the opportunity to remove his blindfold and shackles and to do it for himself. So the message here is very clearly defined. You have to focus on creating self, Divine Feminine, and you need to allow your Divine Masculine to run and to protect and provide and fix self. It's not your job to do that for him. You need to let him go. Trust that he will return. That's where your faith comes in. Not allowing doubt to be clouding your judgment. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to go get a different deck because I feel really guided to use the Rebecca Campbell. So I'm just going to draw a couple of oracle cards as well so we can see what each counterpart needs to do to move forward. And the connecting energy. Answer the call, Divine Feminine. What is your soul calling you to do? Now, by putting these barriers up, you will have also blocked the energy of spirit. You know, they're energetic barriers. You need to embrace this fresh awakening. You need to embrace your soul's calling. That's what the Six of Cups card was. This recreating of self, which is an ongoing process. Okay, you're never finished. You've got to keep going. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? The Divine Masculine, we've got Starseed. What lights you up? He needs to find his own light. That's the energy he's in. He needs to step into his own channel of light, not to rely on yours. That's dependent behaviour. That's feminine energy. That's not what he is supposed to be doing. So you need to allow him to find his own light. The connecting energy is mirror, which, you know, for mirror souls, twin flames is very powerful. Who or what is triggering you? What triggered these barriers? Okay, I know it was his 3D games, this old ego thing rearing its ugly head. That's not the mature, honest way to deal with relationships. But you need to understand it's a trigger. It's a trigger by him for you, and that you've triggered him to run as much as he's triggered you. You know, it goes both ways. So again, like I said in yesterday's video, you need to keep digging. That's what healing is. Constantly digging deep inside of ourselves to open ourselves up to more light and dig out what doesn't serve us. We have to acknowledge the triggers. Okay, I hope that helped part one. Right, so let's have a look at part two. Wow, this is really powerful today. So, Divine Feminine significator on the left, Divine Masculine on the right, got past, connecting energies. Okay, so if you've chosen this pile, you know, you're in this second wave that isn't quite as close to union. You're still healing. A tremendous amount of healing is needed. And don't be put off by that, because that's what this journey is about. You know, don't be frustrated like, oh God, more healing. You know, the healing never ends. It's ongoing. When you step into it, you will embrace and enjoy and love this part of the process. If you're feeling resistance and resentment for it right now, that is a big, huge sign that you need to pay attention to, because it should be enjoyable. It should feel good. If you're resisting it and you're not enjoying it, then you're not stepping into it. Now, the Divine Feminine here is doing that work. She's very focused on healing. And the Divine Masculine is in this very immature energy of just not knowing how to move forward. He is downloading truth, but he doesn't understand it at all. He's not making sense of it. He's not giving himself room to make sense of it. And in this past energy, I feel like this Divine Feminine has recently awakened and stepped into this healing. There's been a powerful awakening, powerful realizations. This has fired him up, but he's still stuck in the 3D ego. And he is expressing, and has been in the recent past, his Divine Masculine energy from sexual energy. He's expressing sexual energy. That's how he's connecting with his Divine Masculine energy now. Very fiery, very passionate. But he's not giving himself time to reflect. And this connecting energy is the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords reversed, which I feel like has been a lot of communication between you, a lot of sexual energy, but not making that energetic transition into something honest and real. It's all being clouded with this sexual energy right now. But the Divine Feminine is releasing codependency. You know, she's doing this healing and she's learning to say no. She's learning to step away from her Divine Masculine and noticing that that can feel good. It's not once you've awakened and you've stepped into this journey, you've started doing the healing, it's not always painful. Suddenly it starts to feel good to have your own space and energy. And I feel like that's where you are in this present moment. You're releasing, the Divine Feminine is releasing codependency. The Divine Masculine is not embracing his share of the responsibility in that part of the journey. And so we've got this Ten of Swords energy as the connecting energy, which is blocking the connection right now. It's like we're almost at completion. So there can be this release, but it's being blocked. And as we move into the present, and you see there's swords all the way down the middle as connecting energy. This is refusal to speak maturely. This is refusal to communicate truth. This is refusal to do the reflection, the work, the transitioning. And it's the Divine Masculine that's shirking out of this responsibility, that's in this very immature energy. It's him with his Ace of Swords that is refusing to speak his truth. But the Divine Feminine is releasing. She's releasing codependency. She is releasing pain, and specifically pain related to this guy's karmic, his sexual dalliances, him being a player. You're releasing that. You're finding that nightmare is coming to an end because you don't have to, you know now, you don't have to exist in that pain. All you need is you. So this wave's not far behind the last pile. This Divine Feminine started doing the work, but you're progressing rapidly. It's only going to get easier and easier for you. It's going to feel easier and easier. And this frustration that you're feeling for your Divine Masculine, for his childish perspective, his playing, his mind games, his refusal to take responsibility for self, his refusal to speak truth, you need to let him run. Just let him go. You've realised now that you don't need him. Need is wrong. You only need you. When you connect with that inner love for self, it empowers you to release him. And you can step back into that Divine Feminine power, which is where you're meant to be. I'm really sorry if that horrible noise. Someone's doing gardening. Right. So the advice to the Divine Feminine, we've got Pleiades here. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. You know, you need to remember, and this is probably clear to you post-awakening, that, you know, your mission isn't to unite with your twin flame so you can be madly in love and enjoy a happy ever after. Your mission is to unite with your twin flame so that you can help channel and uplift humanity. You are a channel. You are a beautiful channel of light. And that's what you need to work on now, your channel. You can't work on his or your unified channel because that requires you to come together. Your job right now is to work on your channel of keeping that clean, of staying aligned and in your Divine Feminine power. For him, we've got this mirror card. You know, twin flames are mirrors. Who or what is triggering you? He hasn't even realised that all of this drama, trauma, inner wounds that are being dragged to the surface in him right now, he hasn't made the connection that they're there to do with you. And you need, you know, he's not embraced the truth. He's resisting it and pushing it away. You need to let him. The connecting energy here is break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing and rewriting the future. You know, the Divine Feminine is the Empress. She is the beginning of all creation. She creates. You create the future with your healing and by transmuting these ancestral patterns, these negative energies that you need to release. So I hope that was helpful. Let him run. Focus on your own healing. All right, let's look at part 2. Divine Feminine on the left, Divine Masculine on the right. We've got past, connecting energy in the middle. Present, connecting energy in the middle. And future, connecting energy in the middle. Okay, so this divine feminine, she is in a state of pause. She has suddenly found this beautiful sense of peace and quiet, this temporary, and I say temporary because this is what Arthur's guiding me. It's a temporary surrender. Spirit has almost frozen you in time momentarily so that you can look really clearly at what's happening. And you've not done this for a while. So this is really important. You need to very carefully observe and tune in and open your eyes to what is. Because there's a huge shift right now in your karmic cycle, particularly for your divine masculine, who's actually in this Wheel of Fortune energy. He's really going through tremendous, dramatic changes. It might not be apparent on the outside. This is inner changes, inner work. Now, in the past, this divine feminine has been less than cunning. She's trying to be, she thinks she's playing the game. She thinks she's being really discreet with her messages of love and that she's playing it cool. You're not playing it cool because you're playing games. And, here we see the cunning fox, but it's just a shadow of it being mimicked by the hands of a child. Darkness in light, shadows in light. When you're playing games, when you're playing those games, you're not being clever, you're not playing it cool, you're not empowering yourself, you're playing games, you're not speaking your truth. You're trying to get one up on him. You're stuck in this old 3D ego, which is a bit like saying, well, if you ignore me for 2 hours, I'm going to ignore you for 4. If you don't talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you. If you don't text me first, I won't text you. And you've not given me much attention, so I'm not going to give you any back. It's about holding back, playing games, playing it cool. And this is the energy you've been stuck in the past, divine feminine. And you think you're being clever, cunning as a fox, but you're not. You're a shadow of a fox. And this is the shadow work you need to do and release. Because the energy you should be in is, there is no game because you actually don't care. Well, if you've not texted me, whatever, perhaps you're busy. I'll speak to you when you get in touch. That's the mature energy of standing in your own space and not being bothered by his fuckery. And I know that's a strong word, but that's what this boy's doing right now. He's being a little fuck. He's playing games, but you're following suit. You're mirroring his energy rather than digging it out and transmuting it. He has really lost hope in this connection in the recent past. He's lost hope in it. It's stopped feeling good because you've stepped out of your divine feminine power and you're being asked to pause and really review this. In the present moment, you are not connecting with spirit. And so if you're feeling a lot of signs and synchronicities and very overwhelmed in the last couple of days, that is because spirit is grabbing you and saying, stop, look and listen. Look at what is happening here. Because you are not in your spiritual divine feminine power. You are resisting that responsibility. And that's the connecting energy here. It's that, that feeling of wanting to give up and constantly being frustrated by your divine masculine. He's experiencing a lot of rapid incoming change, which is going to help him step into much greater balance. But between the two of you, you're not doing this work. You're stuck in this nightmare of this 3D ego game, divine feminine, and you're not doing the inner healing work. So if you've had these very strong messages from spirit, whether it's guided you to watch this video today and choose this pile, or you've just been noticing these peculiar downloads and synchronicities, stop, look and listen. You're being asked to pay attention and to step into this journey. The divine masculine is actually making good progress, even though he's unconscious of it, because he's going through a series of energetic upgrades. But he's going to run, and he's going to run hard. And you need to be ready. You need to be ready. Because he's got a karmic. He's got a third party, and that's not going anywhere soon. So let's look at what else you do. Okay. So for the divine feminine, we've got Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? You're being called to journey within, to spirit, to higher self. The divine masculine, we've got council of light, helpers in the subtle realms. This is all divinely orchestrated. You know, he's literally going through one tremendous energetic upgrade. He won't leave the karmic, but this is going to force him to look at it with fresh eyes. He's going to become aware that he's got a frog. I know that's a feminine term. We've got to kiss the frogs before we get the prince. But he's going to be aware that he's being one, and like attracts like. While he's being a slimy little toad, he's going to attract slimy little toes. So he's going to get all of those powerful, burning lessons from the karmic relationship he's in. That's divinely orchestrated. There are helpers in the subtle realms to assist with that. You need to just go within and step into self-love. The connecting energy here is the great gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. Seek out like-minded people, because I'm feeling he is going to be drawn to this as well. Even though this divine masculine is unawake, he's spiritually aware. And he may be guided towards healing himself. You may actually connect with him in a different way if you're drawn into a like-minded soul tribe. So there's a message there for you to get involved with your spiritual community. I actually think your divine masculine will as well. Right, I hope that helped. Let's do pile number 4. Very different messages coming through today. I had a really powerful meditation last night. Love it all, love it. So magical, right? So pile 4. Divine feminine on the left, divine masculine on the right. And look at the past, connection energies in the middle. Present. Okay. So there's a lot of resistance here, as well as a lot of love. And I feel like this is the most recent wave in the collective. So if you've chosen this pile, it's quite likely you've either just realised you're a twin, or you've only recently met your twin. And you're in this pain and paradise stage of enjoying a lot of tenderness, a lot of love, but it's all starting to go all right. And divine feminine, you are resisting this change. You know, with death reversed here, it's a very powerful card in this deck. We've got this moth and the butterfly, which both are symbols of transformation. The snake on both sides, the embracing of divine masculine energy of creation. You're resisting the journey. He is stepping into it. We've got him moving into this hermit energy, following the light, stepping through the tunnel, through the darkness for the light. And it's a journey inside. The hermit he's not looking for that outside. He's very reflective right now. So we've actually got very spiritually aware divine masculine here, even though he's new to the journey. And I'm being guided to say that is, it'll be really beautiful actually to see how this pans out. That is a pattern in this most recent wave of twins in the collective, is that we've got more spiritually aware divine masculines meeting their twins. So for the divine feminine, in the recent past, you have been thrust into this very rapid karmic cycle of change. And there's this resistance there. And it's also made your twin feel very unbalanced. You know, he's not quite sure what to do with the intensity of that energy, which is why he may have run more recently. But in the recent past, there was a beautiful, soulful, loving, passionate energy between you that I'm feeling is, you know, moving. And I know that Divine Feminine, you feel this shift. You feel it ebbing away from you. It's like a slow moving tide that's moving out. You had this beautiful, passionate intensity, and now you're beginning to feel it dissipate, and you're frightened. So in the present energy, you know, you're getting grounded, you're focusing on work, and I feel like your Divine Masculine may have recently revealed that he is actually in a relationship and has a family. Or he, you know, if that's not the case, he's moved back towards focusing on that. This is what you're feeling with him gently moving away from you, because both of you are not comfortable with that dynamic. You know it lacks integrity, you know it's immoral, you know it doesn't serve your highest good. And there is a powerful awakening coming for both of you. For, you know, moving into this future energy, the Divine Feminine, when he runs, and he's going to run, he's going to step into a place of not being truthful. And you're going to feel crestfallen by that. But you need to regroup very quickly and not to dwell in this pain, not to dwell in this longing for him. This awakening is brought to you, not to bring you two together, but to awaken you as individuals first. And you need to go and do your research, do your learning, and really understand what this journey is. We've got a lot of major arcana cards for this collective. These twins are going to move very quickly. I'm feeling like more and more twins are waking up that are going to move very, very quickly through this journey. Each wave is more enlightened and spiritually aware than the last. But because you're moving through it so fast and furiously, it's going to be that kind of painful up and down. It's going to be a bit more intense rather than this kind of more gentle wave that previous twins in the collective have experienced. So you're going to come crashing down, and you need to align yourself again quickly. And you need to understand that his temporary refusal to acknowledge or communicate truth is a necessary part of your journey. He has to work out his karma, which is resolving this family situation he has. And you need to stay in your grounded energy. You're going to wobble from it temporarily, but you'll pull it back quickly. So, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. You know, this is stepping into your awakening. You're resisting it now. You're resisting this change. It's coming at you powerfully in your present. The wheel is turning. You need to cross the threshold. You need to step out of darkness into the light, into paradise. Look at this card here. It is so powerful. It's literally dark, and just peeping through the cave here is this absolute paradise of joy and light. It's waiting for you. The Divine Masculine, we've got creating heaven on earth. It's happening. You know, he's got to work out his real 3D situation so that he can move forward. That's his battle, not yours. Don't worry yourself about it. Don't even focus on it. The connecting energy here is longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers. I feel very strongly that this last wave of twins to have come together, the most recent ones, they are very, very strong. They are very spiritually aware, and they will awaken and move through this journey rapidly. So if you've literally just come into union, not union, but if you've just met your twin this year, you are on a rapid fire path, rapid ascension. Wow, I hope that helped, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again soon for another video.